stop. Oh, God, it stopped. Sorry, the usual DJ's not here. Just like me when I go to any fast food chain, we get it without the fries. I don't order fries at a fast food, because fries are just a waste of space, dude. Just get 2 burgers. Why wouldn't you just get 2 burgers?
Sometimes I go just for the fries.
Nah. I think fries feel like I'm just wasting time. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I like some tots.
We had this show on Gorp already, all right?
Yeah, we already talked about that shit. Today, we're on Popcorn and Beers, where some use tomatoes and others use stones. Oh, we use the stuff like get you drunk. That's right, it's your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast. Probably not. This is not a beer. This is this new indie brand of soda. I'm really trying it out for the first time.
You might have heard of it.
It's a family company. So our butter on top this week was something you were reluctant to watch, perhaps. Tell us about, why didn't they just call it The Accountants? You know, I like a clever title like that. Accountant 2. The Accountant 2. Tell me about it, dude.
It was just fine. It has nothing on the original, really. The original was just original. The first movie was pretty original. He had this mystique about his character. You know, he had the spectrum kind of quirks about him, made him really interesting, and you knew there's just this badass underneath the surface kind of, and then you really see it at the end of the movie. This one, I feel like that maybe they lost confidence in the character. Like they were like, oh, this character maybe can't carry an entire other script. I don't know what the decision making was here, but they definitely maybe took some of the buzz around Love on the Spectrum, because a big portion of this movie is Ben Affleck's character trying to find love. He does speed dating, and and he spends a lot of dialogue. It's actually a lot of the movie, to be honest with you. We lost Josh. Yeah, a huge portion of this movie is spent just him, being lonely, and he wants to find love, and he goes on dating, and he talks to his brother about dating, and they go to a bar, and he's trying to hit on a lady. There's a lot of this movie is around that, and maybe they're just trying to appeal to the girlfriend or wife who's being forced on this on a date to see this movie. Something, I don't know. Or they're just trying to endear this character to set up a longer franchise to trying to make it appeal to more people. I don't know what they were thinking. John Bernthal's character is cool. He's doing typical John Bernthal dialogue. He's kind of cool. He's a cocky guy. But then there's he's got this whole hang up with the brother. He's supposed to be this assassin and all this stuff, and he's got this hang up with the brother where he's just out of nowhere. They're sitting there talking. He's like, "Why don't you miss me? Is it because of your condition, or is it me? Is it something I did? Why don't you miss me?" And out of nowhere, at random points, he just gets all teary and and it doesn't land. I don't know. It's very, I don't know. They do add some cool elements to this, to the whole, his spectrum and all this type of thing, the quirks that he has. They come up with this Charles Xavier school for the autistic kids, and they're his eye in the sky.
Oh, so they they add into what was already happening in the first one with that one lady.
The lady, yeah.
They build that out. Okay.
They build it out. He's got this team of orphan kids that are all on the spectrum, and they all have their special skills where they one's good at tracking time, and one's good at GPSing stuff, and one's good at hacking, and blah 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 blah. All this stuff, and it's it's cool when you see it. It sounds pretty stupid now that I'm saying it out loud. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's actually it's kind of cool the way that it all plays out. The plot is super shallow. The plot is just played out. The cartel kidnapping people, lady out for revenge. It's very, and it's just not fleshed out very well. It's just oh yeah, it's the cartel. No, it's not the cartel. Yes, it is. It's just, yeah, I don't know. pretty mind-numbing. Not enough action. Not nearly enough action in this movie. The action, they give you a little bit in like spurts here and there. You'll get like a quick little hand-to-hand fight, and then at the end there's like a 10-minute showdown, and that's about it. It's not nearly enough for me. I can see there's some memes. There's a very memeable moment in this movie that I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty funny. After they go to a bar and they get in a bar fight and everything, and Ben Affleck was hitting on some guy's girl, and he shows his brother, he's got the phone number on his hand. He's like, "What? Look at you! When did that happen?" He's like, "I'm very smooth." And then the brother's like, "Yeah, like when your boy gets the number, yeah, I'm very smooth." Brexton. That's hilarious. The exchange, the chemistry between Ben Affleck's character and John Bernthal, like as the brother, their dialogue is good, but just the whole like weepy John Bernthal moments where he's like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to play real life issues that some people have with caretaking of those with special needs or something like that. Those kind of relationships. Didn't land. That's unfortunate.
It doesn't, yeah. Just because of who John Bernthal's character is, every other second of the movie outside of that, it just doesn't make sense, really.
Yeah.
So it's a popcorn in one. It was fine. Oh. It was a fine movie, but it's just the first one was so much better. I don't know. It's a sequel slump for sure.
Sequel slump. Well, this kind of happens with. Well, man, we've been going through this, and we probably will never get out of it. This whole thing of like, we got IP that worked. Let's make it work again. We can make it work again. Just throw a sequel at it. But I really think Accountant is definitely. The Accountant was one of those movies that just needs to stay still. And like. Okay, well, you have all this great stuff that was built up, and I guess if you want to do a sequel, you can, but bring Anna Kendrick back. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they had too many producers touching it. Happens all the time. Popcorn in one sounds good. Okay, I'll check it out when it comes to streaming.
Tried to make it like a goofy buddy comedy. Nah, not this.
Yeah. Ugh. Well. We watched a sort of, not a buddy comedy, but there was buddies, sort of. It's a bunch of sort of here, with Frye's Drunk Classic.
Wait a second. Josh thought he could keep me out of the episode simply because I was on an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? He's crazy. That if he thinks he's going to talk about Moon, my drunk classic, without me, I'm not going to magically appear. So anyway... I hope they talked about the Star Wars style special effects, and I hope they even did a who wore it better, Michael B. Jordan or Sam Rockwell. I'm going to tell you right now, I love this movie. I know it's kind of cornball at certain parts, but it is kind of a thinker, and you have to love the way they use the practical effects. The background with the obvious toy car as the moon rover, and his portrayal of how he is so determined to be a real person, even after he finds out he's a clone, that he takes it to the level of trying to sneak into a spacecraft to make it back to Earth, where if you listen to the credits, he actually does. Spoiler alert, sorry, this movie's from 2009. I think that the director's ability to guide him throughout this process of self-discovery and realization as it pertains to discovering again that he's a clone. It's 2025, okay? I'm not spoiling anything. And his ability to kind of wear that emotion, wear that realization. And then, of course, we have that trash bag of a person, Kevin Spacey, playing the robot with a heart. Right? The robot with a heart. And I don't know if they talked about it at all. I found it kind of fascinating that the robot doesn't like move on wheels or anything. He's like hooked into the ceiling. So the robot can literally only go wherever this little path is. It's almost like the cars in San Francisco, right? I can't even remember what they're called. Anyway, the cars in San Francisco, they can only go wherever those lines are. So that's what I thought of Kevin Spacey's character. It was played by a trash bag, but it was kind of a weird robot that really had limited functionality as it can only go where... How is he getting the bodies? Anyway, how is he getting the clones?
He gave us a Sam Rockwell number, 2 Sam Rockwells for the price of 1. It's Moon is the movie. I'd never seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I had never seen it. But then I saw the movie cover and I was like, oh yeah, I've kind of seen this movie. I've known this movie exists for sure, but never got to watch it.
It kind of was like on my radar, then it kind of fell off. And I think I remember something like he was nominated for something, or people were mad that he wasn't. It was like, oh, this is his big performance, that kind of thing. And I buy that, I suppose. It wasn't like definite, no questions asked, he gets an award for it, but it was pretty dang good. So, folks who haven't watched it, brief synopsis: he's a man on the moon working for a corporation for a greater purpose, serving humanity. That's the whole idea. His sentence or his contract is almost up, so he can go home and see his wife and kid. And then there's things that happen, and one of those things that happens, he starts to see himself and talking to himself. And is he losing his mind? What's going on? That whole thing. So what you see a lot of is Sam Rockwell acting against Sam Rockwell. Mm-hmm. This has been done before. It's been done since. I think this wasn't exactly unique, but it was a great, fresh way to do it. And he kind of owned the screen. He played 2 different... I mean, we just saw Sinners, which was the latest installment of an actor playing twins, right? So he was playing 2 people on the camera at the same time, and this was the sort of thing. And I honestly think I didn't see anything wrong with the tricks, like in Multiplicity, same thing with like they're both on camera having dialogue and like they have to respond to each other, but that other person's not there, so they do little camera tricks, and I feel like nothing exactly went wrong. I didn't catch anything like, oh, that was wrong, like they messed up. It was just like, I think it just didn't quite click all the way for me. I give it like an 80%, a B+ or something. I don't know, as far as that special effects aspect. However, Sam Rockwell was great. He played a man fresh on the job and a man almost done with the job, and those 2 personalities were really cool. I think the nature versus nurture aspects that they were trying to hit with the themes was really cool. Like, he's got anger issues, but after 3 years of solitude, he has to work those things out. He's a much calmer, much more zen person, that sort of thing. Healthy versus sick, desperate versus hopeful or angry about it. I don't know exactly, but I liked all the things about it. I liked the effects. I liked the dream sequences. I liked the setting was cool. Kevin Spacey didn't... I mean, you get mad that Kevin Spacey's in the movie, whatever, but he's barely in the movie, and he was, like, monotone the whole time, so, like, we can even just skip over that. It could have been... I thought it was Benedict Cumberbatch for a second. The voice of the robot.
No.
Yeah, but it was really cool. I liked the setting, I liked the ideas, and then if Frye were here, he would say something like, we don't understand what's happening with the world, the political implications of this movie. We're not listening to it. Yeah, whatever.
For me, there's so much going on within this movie, and it speaks to me about where we're at today. And when I say that, I mean these giant corporations and how little they care about their employees. You hope that Sam Rockwell is getting some cut. His character is getting some cut of what each of the clones is able to do, but you don't really know. It never really reveals that information. But it is him up there doing the work, so you kind of wonder, is it a lump sum? Did he get like a varying amount depending on how much of the energy source they're able to recover, build, and refine and send back to Earth? It's very interesting the way that all goes, but really I think the deeper metaphor is that if you are an expert at something, your company will replace you with another you, even if they have to clone you. Anyway, for me, it was a popcorn in one, but I do love the practical effects. It was a lot of fun to revisit this movie. There was so much I forgot that goes on. I wish I could have talked about it with the guys. Maybe we'll hash it up next week and maybe do a little brief convo on what we all thought of Moon. Again, for me, popcorn in one, a really fun revisit.
So it's, corporate takeover after world collapse, and this is this and that's that, and why are we trusting corporations to save us when we're blah blah blah, that sort of thing. I like the overall themes of the movie. I just heard that there was not a spin-off, but I forgot who made this movie. Whoever made this movie, I forgot his name, made another movie. I forgot what it's called. I think maybe Mute is what it's called. But it takes place in the same world, and they address Sam Rockwell's position after the fact. There's like a lawsuit involved, and like they all all of them come home and they all sue the corporation for personhood. I don't know exactly. Cool movie. I gotta say, cool movie. It was fun. Really, the whole time it had me like, what is happening? I love a mind bender. I was a little sad that it maybe a little too quickly explained what was happening, in a sense. Because I love a movie where it's like, is he losing his mind or not? And it answers that question pretty quick. He's not. I mean, he kind of is, but not really, overall. But I loved all the concepts. I loved everything about it. I say popcorn and one.
Yeah. I think I would keep it a popcorn and one as well. The CG is pretty bad. Like, anytime he's not in the set, in the space shuttle thing, outside, being in actual space, it's all really, really bad. The whole crash thing that happens, it's weird. Very 2001 Space Odyssey kind of vibes with Hal and what is his robot assistant name?
Kip or something? Gertie,
that's right. And the dialogue between him and Gertie is funny. It's classic Sam Rockwell kind of stuff.
Dry and stuff. I do like, you said, like Hal, but they did a little spin on this where it usually ends up, AI bad, robot bad. But the robot actually tended to sort of care for him in a way. Yeah. Not all the way, but like he was trying to help him a little bit. So that was cool.
And he could actually like trick the AI, kind of manipulate the robot guy, which is funny. It was funny stuff. You just feel terrible for like the slow deterioration of him throughout the movie.
That was
and
raw.
There's just different points where you're just like, oh yeah, I've been hungover before and felt like that. Like throughout the movie for sure. You're like, oh yeah, I've been there kind of thing.
Yeah, like when he pukes up the blood and he like reaches in the toilet to find his tooth. Like I've never found a tooth, but like there's times when I feel like maybe I would put my hand in the toilet to see what was in there because I'm already fucked up. Like I'm already a trash man. Let's just get our hand in there.
There's just an entire McDonald's chicken nugget in there. But towards the end of the movie, you're just screaming like, buddy, just terminate yourself. Where do you think this is gonna go ultimately? Oof. Like, does he think he's? I don't want to like spoil. This is kind of an old movie, but like, what is the payoff? What's the game plan here? If you manage to escape and do what these guys are they're planning to do. It just doesn't seem like.
I feel that, and you haven't seen Severance, have you? The show I've been talking about, raving about.
I'd like to. I'm going to after I finish Yellow Jacket season 3 finale's coming up. I'll be reviewing that. Good show. Yeah.
Nice. Well, this has vibes of Severance to me, where like he was created for a purpose, and that's that's what you do. The Rick and Morty bread buttering toast machine.
Yeah.
And in the end, he's like, no, we're people, and you can't tell me that I can't try or whatever. That's probably worded improperly, but yeah, there's the same kind of vibes in Severance. Like, no, I'm gonna try to do whatever I want to do. You can't tell me how I'm supposed to exist. So I don't know.
Why make them I don't want to spoil anything here because it's like one of those movies where like if you know these things right off the bat, you're just gonna be like it might be boring at to some extent. It's like a type of movie I don't think you could ever really watch again. It's like a one watcher for sure.
Yeah, and I think because the overall message didn't quite hit. It hit like okay, sure, but it wasn't like a big revelation or anything. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'll go with you too. I'll sneak it into a popcorn and one as well.
A popcorn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hit you hard and quick and fast with. I'm sorry, Frye. I did another
Classic killer.
a classic killer, and I'm sure that you would agree with me. I watched Big Trouble in Little China, starring Kurt Russell and that Chinese man who's been in more movies than God. He was the father in Kung Fu Panda. That guy. The goose.
A goose? There's a goose in it.
Right?
I know
He's
what you're talking about. I know the voice. I know the guy's voice. Yeah,
He's in everything. Also, the uncle or grandpa from Three Ninjas. He's the good guy with the lazy eye. Anyway, Big Trouble Little China. This is peak 80s. This is John Carpenter at his, maybe not his best movie, but it's up there. I'm sure someone says this is his best movie. Practical effects out the wazoo. This is like that. You know how like Ghostbusters and stuff when they like superimpose lasers or electricity. It's not exactly. It's not computers. They do some kind of camera tricks to make it look like there's lasers on light shows. They're really big in the 80s. The 90s played with it a little bit too, but like. That's kind of out now because we just have computers to do that. But this was done exceptionally well for what they had, with the tools they had. And it had really cool monsters, like highly produced monsters. Sometimes they're there for 1 second. Like this giant monster comes out of a wall and it's like, this is a cool ass monster, and you never see it again. Never see it again. And it's full of it. This movie has so much weird, wacky shit. But before you have time to say that's weird, they hit you with another one. Like, this is like a Universal ride before those things existed. You know what I mean? It's just, oh, whoa, and then you got Kurt Russell playing sort of a John Wayne type mixed with a little Wyatt Earp, because that's who he played, and I don't know, his own brand of cool guy, and it's like over-the-top cartoon cool guy. Everyone in this is a cartoon. Every character is a cartoon. The dialogue is so expository, like, hi, I'm the reporter, and I got a big break, and I'm gonna get to this message no matter what it takes, and like, literally, that's pretty much what they said. Stuff like that. Hey, it's me, like the female lead, she says her name over and over so you remember it. And I forgot, but it's like, oh no, it's me, Darcy, or whatever her name is. Like, okay, like we know. And,
how much of this movie are you like, oh yeah, they couldn't do this today? Like, how much you're like,
no, yeah, oh yeah, the whole thing is Orientalism. The concept of like the Far Orient and mystical magic and ancient Chinese secret. It was full of that shit, like chock-a-block. There's a part where like Kurt Russell and his sidekick guy are like in the truck watching this gang war of two Chinese factions, and like one has like knives, and for some reason one of them has a 2x4, but the other ones have knives, and then the other side has all golden staffs, and they're like on either side of the alleyway, and Kurt Russell's like, what's going on? He's like, don't move. It's a Chinese standoff. What? There's so much ancient Chinese secret bullshit. Mystical, 2,000 years ago, there was a curse, that kind of shit. And if you...
Gremlin mystic shops?
Oh, very gremlin type of shit. There's all kinds of weird monsters, dragon stuff. Oh, man, it could not be made today, but... if you can suspend the level of disgust you have for that sort of thing, it still holds up because of the great practical effects, the silliness of it. If I saw that, this is my first time seeing it. If I had seen this as a 7-10-year-old, I would have loved it to death. Because it's just full of action, silly stuff, corny one-liners, fight scenes that don't make sense, little gadgets, like he has a crossbow, grappling hook, weird thing, all kind of cool stuff like that. And it has, like, influences that just, like, reverberate throughout forever, even today. My first thought was, this is Mortal Kombat. Like, the Mortal Kombat series owes itself to this movie by itself. You know, like, the sorcerers came from the sky and we have to defeat them, but I'm just a regular guy trucker dude. That's Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so, I don't know. I give this a popcorn and 2 just because of what it is and its incredible impact and the production value. Like, they really pulled it out for this. And it's a corny movie. The plot barely makes sense. Like, there's so much. Like, I've been waiting for this for years. Who is this guy? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Yeah, popcorn and 2 just because of what it is. Big Trouble Little China.
Wait, Josh, you thought you were rid of me? No, we've got to talk about what we were watching. I finished The Wheel of Time. I'm going to tell you right now, 8 out of the 9 episodes were a waste of time. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe 7 episodes. It was so much exposition, so much storytelling, world building, that it was so easy to follow. They took too long to mix in that action, and it left their audience more confused than it was by introducing so many new variables to the storyline, like different dimensions. Again, are we not done with this dimensional travel stuff again? This isn't dimensional travel. This is like paths chosen, like the different paths that could be chosen by the Dragon Reborn, and it just became convoluted, confusing, and not as good as they were hoping for it to be. So for me, Wheel of Time Season 3 gets a popcorn. Just too much. Anyway, let's talk about what else I was watching here. Because I had a little bit of a flight, so I watched 2 movies. I watched Havoc with Tom Hardy, and let's just get this out of the way. It was a popcorn and 1 for me. I love the action, but it was cornball. There was a lot of unnecessary stuff going on. Take Battle Royale meets John Wick meets Training Day, and you have Havoc. That's what Havoc is. And Tom Hardy crushes it. Timothy Olyphant isn't in it enough. He should have been in it more. There are a couple characters that are in it too much. The two, like, they're not kids. I guess they're young people, early 20s. Forrest Whitaker's son and his girlfriend. And the girlfriend thing is like, why? Who cares about her? What is her purpose? She doesn't matter to this story. It's annoying. But anyway, outside of that, it's a fun action flick with bullets flying everywhere, unnecessary storylines, as I previously stated, all kinds of things happening. There's cocaine, then there's heroin, then there's a cabin in the lake, and then there's shooting, and people dying, and explosions, and no reason for a lot of it. But if you're just wanting to miss the cornball, cheesy action film, I think Havoc is for you. We're going to go ahead and give that a popcorn 1 just based on the genre. Probably didn't earn it, but I miss it. I miss cornball action, just silly for no reason, unnecessary storylines, Yakuza, Triad, whatever, whoever you're fighting, dirty cops, Training Day, John Wick, boom, boom, popcorn 1. And then finally I watched One of Them Days, which I think Jordan, he called it when he reviewed it, this is a popcorn movie. I watched this on a flight, and I was in it. I had to finish the movie after I was already in it. I didn't laugh one time. Not once. Not a single laugh. It was just stupid. It was just stupid. And we have a saying on Popcorn and Beers, that movie just wasn't made for me. And I guess this falls in that category. It was just absolutely god-awful. It was so terrible. It's posing as a comedy. What did they market it as? The Female Friday? It was awful. It wasn't funny at all. There were no funny scenes. Literally 0 funny scenes. Even the twists weren't really twists. It was ultimately one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen. I don't know how it rated so high. It's right up there with a film I reviewed when we first started called Bros. It's made for an audience, and I hope that audience received it well. But as far as a movie is concerned, as far as a comedy is concerned, it just wasn't funny. It didn't hit. It wasn't for me. We're going to go ahead and give it 1 popcorn. Back to you guys. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
I know.
Nice. I watched a rom-com called Set It Up, starring Glenn Powell looking like a Lego man. He looks like the standard little brick figure Lego man that comes with like any Lego set you get.
His hands are like this the whole movie.
Yeah, his hair looks like one of the Lego little hairpiece things.
Okay.
He looks ridiculous. Zoe Deutsch, who is the B-list Anna Kendrick, if you saw her, you'd be like, oh yeah, she's in a lot of kind of these B-list kind of movies. Taye Diggs, was the last time you heard from Taye Diggs. I mean, this movie is kind of not like recent. Let's see. Set It Up came out in 2018. So there you go. Taye Diggs, and then Lucy Liu is in this, and then Pete Davidson, a young Pete Davidson, kind of before the beginning of the Pete Davidson saga that we all forcibly know about every detail of Pete Davidson's life and anatomy now. It's the rom-com scenarios, and they're so implausible. It's so added drama and stupidness for no reason. Like just decisions that people would never actually make and crap that people would never actually fall for. It's so far-fetched. It just seems like they had this very basic premise and they wanted to just kind of run with it. Basically, these 2 assistants work for these corporate CEOs who are just the absolute worst, like mean, stupid, all the above, and they are trying to set them up together and get them off of the assistants are trying to get the bosses off of their backs so that they can have some free time for themselves, instead of just, I don't know, finding a different job maybe. Which, spoiler alert, because don't watch this movie, is what they end up doing in the end. They end up following their passion instead of going through this whole rigmarole. It's pretty stupid. So there's some funny moments, like every once in a while you get hit with something pretty funny, but skip it. Leave it exactly where it is. I give it a popcorn.
Just a popcorn?
Just a popcorn.
Dang.
Don't watch it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I watched the show as well. There's romance, but it's not a romantical movie show. I finished Shrinking, so I think that's season 3. And I was a little sad that that's it. I hope there's another season, but I guess there doesn't necessarily need to be another season. They did it to where it's like half and half. Like, they can keep going, but they don't have to. So, once again, it's just a sugar-sweet show with a little bit of raunchy humor, just a little bit. And it's got interpersonal relationships and this and that and different varieties of it. It's therapy-based, so everyone's talking about working out their problems, just like the other 2 seasons. I have an issue with the neighbor lady. She was the love interest in Drew Carey's show. You know her? Or she was in Scrubs. Anyway, the mean wife in Scrubs. But she's in this, and she's great. I love her character. I love just about every character in the show. But for some reason, they just give her plot lines that are absolutely illogical. Like, what? Why did we have to do that? Like, why did you make... You see it all the time in shows where, like, you made the worst choice you could have made without thinking anything through, and it's so ridiculous, you're like, I don't know, man. So, like, she's done that 2 or 3 times now, and it's just like, okay, we're just trying to stir the pot, because we don't have a plot. Otherwise, though, overall great. I say popcorn and 2 show as a whole, and the season as well. Harrison Ford has a really good monologue at the end. There's a little super sweet thing. The very ending with the guy and the other guy, that was good.
2 guys.
It's 2 guys, 1 ending. And it was, I don't know. I think it was pretty sweet. Popcorn and 2. Very funny, very entertaining. Let's talk about our drunk classic. I think it's my pick, if I'm not mistaken. This is a movie that you see back when there was DVD shelves. Like, there was, like, Walmart had just shelves full of DVDs you could buy. For years, I saw this on the racks everywhere I went. And like, oh, this is cool. I love all three of these actors. I can't wait to see a movie with them in it. It sounds cool, but it looks really weird. And I'm not going to buy it today. And I kept, like, for years. I'm like, not today. I eventually watched it because I realized he's probably in my top 3 favorite directors of all time. Wes Anderson made this movie with Adrian Brody, Jason Schwartzman, and Owen Wilson at the helm. Darjeeling Unlimited.
Okay.
This will probably be the 5th, 6th time I've watched it. It gets better every time for me. Initially, I didn't think it was, like, super hilarious, but every time I watch it, like a lot of Wes Anderson movies, sort of like Big Lebowski, you're like, you get more and more entertainment value out of it. Have you seen this?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, sorry, it has Adrian Brody in it, but they do good, and it's one of Owen Wilson's best films. Yeah, sure, and it's funny. Wow. Speaking of wow, what are we watching this week for the butter on top, bud?
I am so excited. We're back to the MCU. We are watching Thunderbolts. Yes, Thunderbolts.
That's cool. Yeah. I'm really excited about this one, dude. I love to see Yelena. She's back. Little Black Widow, too. Get to see her.
Pew,
pew, pew, pew, pew. She's just wonderful. Like, she
wonderful.
delivers. And her father, I can't wait to see more of him with his B-grade super soldier serum. And it's got a great writer at the helm. It's going to be the introduction of Sentry, which is a really controversial character, for me at least. Whether I like him or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spooky. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. And this might be, there's been many attempts in the MCU recently with these phases. This might be the one that actually starts up a new momentum. I really hope it is. We'll see. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Frye will be back as well. We love you very much. Do the like and subscribe thing. And, hey, we'll see you at the movies. You got the popcorn, we got the beers.
Duh.
Duh!